It's okay. Long time no see. How are you? Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And welcome to Temple Shalom, Emeth. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And to people who might be watching at home, we welcome you to our Erev Shabbat service. And we would like to warm up with a couple of songs to get ourselves into the spirit of Shabbat. And we will start off with a contemporary version of Shalom Aleichem, which is on page 627. 627. That's right. Song I'm sure you're familiar with, at least from the words, and this is a version by a fellow named Sheldon Lowe that we like to do here. And shakers are being delivered as we speak. Encouraged to shake along. Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharei Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharei Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shonim L'Shalom Malachi Hashalom Malachi Elyon Malchei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharei Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Bachuni L'Shalom Shalom Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sing the chorus with me. Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharei Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Seichem L'Shalom Malachi Hashalom Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Together. Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharei Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Again. Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharei Malachi Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mimelech Malchei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All right, very good. Thank you. That was great. Well, let's do something else kind of rhythmic like that. We'll shake along a little more. How about Romamu? The words to Romamu are not in the very back of the book with all the songs. They're scattered throughout because it's a prayer that we say very often, and I always make a point of trying to remember which page it's on, but it doesn't work.
You didn't make that much
Four-
of a point.
I'm thinking 427 or something like that, but I think most of you know it anyway. Anybody have the page? It's in the index of songs called Romamu.
67.
All right, that's a good location.
משהו בקרוב צריכים לקחת אותי
Shake along again. Romanu Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu V'Had Kosho. Romanu Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu V'Had Kosho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu V'Had Kosho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu V'Had Kosho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu V'Had Kosho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu V'Yishtachavu V'Had Kosho. V'Yishtachavu V'Had Kosho. V'Yishtachavu V'Had Kosho. All right.
We definitely need one more.
We need one more. Okay. All right. Well, let's do Shiru Ladonai, which is also called Shir Chadash, a new song. And I bet you want to know what page that's on, too. And I think it's 640 something. And it's Shir Chadash, page 648, in the middle of the page. Shake along to this one, too. It's a little bit slower, but I think it'll work. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Again. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. I will sing a new song unto God. Thank you very much. To introduce you to our percussionist. She does a great job, and she's also our rabbi.
Full-time percussionist, occasional rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'd like to invite Larry and Liz to come on up and open the doors of the Ark Curtain. Please rise in body or spirit.
אוקיי.
please be seated. We're now going to continue with lighting the Shabbat candles, which you may find on pages 120 and 121. I'd like to invite Harriet and Shalva to come on up and light the candles for us this evening in honor of their sponsoring the Oneg Shabbat. You don't need it, I have one here. Just take the middle candle and light the two side ones of it. These are those trick candles that you light them and then they go out again.
So what's the secret here?
The secret is extra praying. I think you got it.
Okay.
Okay, so you can read here and then Harriet can read.
These Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them. So may we, by our lives, give light to all who will behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. In English, blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen, 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 amen.
Thank you very much. And now we'll continue with, now that we've lit the lights of Shabbat, we will continue on pages 138 and 139 as we welcome the Shabbat bride with the singing of Lecha Dodi.
Another one for the Shakers, if you like, as we do a contemporary version of Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, v'shemu tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. Verse 5. Hitorri, Kiva Ori, Kumi Ori. לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. Last verse. בואי בשלום, עצרת פעלה, גם בשמחה ובשאולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. פני שבת לקבלה.
And that concludes the first part of our service, and then we're going to continue the next part, the Shema V'Virchoteha, the Shema and its blessings, which you may find on page 146. Please rise for the Baruch Hu in body or spirit. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Va'ed.
Page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poteach she'arim ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Page 150.
Ahavat olam b'Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, אותנו למדת, אותנו למדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגד יומם ולילה, נגד יומם ולילה. באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. Baruch atah Adonai, Elohim Amo Yisrael.
Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We now turn to pages 152 and 153 as we recite the Shema, the watchword of our Jewish faith. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Please turn to page 354 as we chant together via Havtah. 154. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'chol nafshecha u'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'elohim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shitecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech u'shachpecha v'kumecha u'kshartam le'od al yadecha v'hayu letotafot ben einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Together in English. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God, Adonai Elohechem Emeth. Now we're going to continue on page 158 with the singing of Micha Mocha, the song the Israelites sang when they crossed the Red Sea to freedom from Pharaoh's grip.
Shakers are welcome.
And
Encouraged. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדל בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדל בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, לאלי ענו ויאמרו, לאלי ענו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
together, thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Gaal Yisrael. Now we can continue on page 160 with the singing of Hashkivenu, the prayer which is so important to us, asking God to create a shelter of peace over all of us and over all of those many, many people who desperately need it.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu chayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu chayim. Ushmor tzedkeinu L'chaim u'shalom me'ata v'yad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Together at the top of 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Now we continue with Vishamru on page 162. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asor et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ritolah. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asor et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ritolah. Beini uvein B'nei Yisrael, Ohi le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asor et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ritolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asor et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ritolam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asor et ha-Shabbat lidorotam b'ritolam.
And that concludes the next section of our service, and then we continue with the tefillah on page 164. Please rise in body or spirit.
Ananananananana Adonai, Anananananana Svatai Tzivcha, Anananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilateha, Anananananana Adonai, Anananananana, ufi yagi, ufi yagi, tehila keha. Anananananana, Anananananana, sakatita. Anananananana, ufi yagi, tehila keha. Anananananana, sakatita. Anananananana, ufi yagi, tehila keha. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר, ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Page 168. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומקיים, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. Page 170. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Now, Shalom, why don't you come on up to do a special prayer for the state of Israel on page 552.
אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו, הגן עליה בעברת חסדך, ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך, ושלח אורך ועמיתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה, ותקנם בעצה טובה מלפניך. ונתת שלום בארץ, ושמחת עולם ליושביה, ונאמר אמן.
Amen. Together. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which makes the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Please be seated. We now continue on page 178 with Shalom Rav, a song for peace.
What?
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon אתה הוא מלך אדום, וכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם.
We read together. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael Shalom. Now we're going to continue with a special prayer for the welfare and return of Israel's captured and missing from among our sisters and brothers. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob, Leah, and Rachel, may God bless the captured and the many kidnapped citizens, men, women, and young children still held in painful captivity in Gaza among them, along with all who are in captivity and distress. May it be your will, Adonai Tzvaot, God of hosts, to rescue and redeem these souls and return them swiftly to their families in the land of Israel. As it is written, thus said God, a cry is heard in Ramah, wailing, bitter weeping, Rachel weeping for her children. She refuses to be comforted. And now we continue on page 371 with the Misha Beirach Get Well prayer. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. This evening we think in particular of Roz Gordon, Larry Kornetsky, Inbar Shirion, Michael Nussbaum, Monty Pearson, Audrey Waldman. We also think of everybody in the state of Israel. We think of those in Gaza and surrounding territories who are all suffering at this moment in time. And at this time, if there are names of others you'd like us to keep in our hearts and our minds, so you're prepared to recite the Get Well prayer, you may say their names aloud or in your hearts as I look across the room.
Dave Gogan. Van Coyne, Mara Frisch.
Kaya Kapawi.
Savin Obi.
Mara Blind.
May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for all of their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send all of them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Misha Beirach Avotinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Beirach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And now, just as we are commanded to think of those in need of healing, we also are commanded to rejoice about the the gratitude that we have for all of our blessings in our lives. And so we wanted to take a moment for us to maybe say something that we're grateful for or something that we feel blessed by. Mindy.
I won't go into details, but I will say I am thankful for dentists and antibiotics.
Mindy is not going into detail. I'm just repeating it for those out there, but she is grateful for dentists and antibiotics. Sounds like we don't want to hear more about that story. Who else? Val.
I'm grateful that next weekend, Mark and I will be going to Brooklyn to celebrate James's 3rd birthday.
How did he get to be 3 already? He was just 2. So Val is grateful that she and Mark are going to be going to Brooklyn to celebrate James's 3rd birthday.
את יודעת יותר טוב ממני.
Anybody else?
I can't not say
Right,
how
can't
grateful
not.
I am to Grandchildren Brooks and Dahlia. Dahlia came over today and painted some beautiful pictures, including one of Grandma as a mermaid.
Wow. So Fran is grateful for her grandchildren, Dahlia and Brooks, who I'm also grateful for. And she's particularly grateful that Dahlia came over today and drew a picture of her as a mermaid. I can't wait to see that. You didn't bring it with you, did you?
But did you bring your mermaid costume with you so that you could...
Did you bring your fin? Just an interpretive drawing. Anybody else?
I'm grateful that my son Zach got his new power chair, and all I can say is, watch out, world. Here comes Zach.
So Robin is grateful that her son Zach got a power wheelchair that I'm sure is going to transform his life and yours.
Right.
Anything?
A little. We're grateful in a little more muted way for something medical with Sam, our son. He called us the other night and he was in sort of distress, not feeling very good, and having some feeling as if he might be having some chest or difficulties with his chest or heart. But he's since then been getting better, and he's been to see a doctor, and so it seems to be abating, and so he's feeling better now. And we're looking forward to seeing him next Wednesday night at a dinner out at UMass Amherst, where he and others will be honored with some awards in their field of mathematics. So he's doing well.
Very nice. Very nice. Larry.
I'm grateful to the rabbi for meeting with my daughter and starting on her path towards her bat mitzvah.
Thank you. Larry is grateful that I met with his daughter just before services on her path towards her bat mitzvah, and I'm grateful for that also, since we're part of the same family, and I told her she's the next generation of our family to become a bat mitzvah, so we're all grateful for that. Thank you. I'm grateful that my son has been at my house for almost 3 weeks and we haven't killed each other. It's been a positive experience thus far. We have a few days to go. I'm also grateful for all of those who've been planning our second Seder, which has been an incredibly big undertaking, and Val and Robin and Mindy and Jeff in particular have been meeting and just trying to figure out the details. We're up to almost 110 people, I think. So that's really been a lot of work, and the Seder Social Hall has already been set up pretty much for the Seder, so I'm really grateful for that. And I'm particularly grateful that Aaron has been home to walk the dog more than half of the time. Stanley, do you want to?
Yeah, I'd like to say something.
All right.
I think it's only fitting that we all pay attention to the rabbi tonight and wish her a happy birthday.
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Stanley and everybody. You should not have allowed you to leave your post to come in and say thank you. I'm almost as old as you.
I know. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
that's nice.
Gary, were you gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna let him say.
We had this all planned.
Oh, thank you. So anyway, for all of those reasons and more, we will sing the Shehechihanu prayer, thanking God for enabling us to reach this moment in time, literally.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
We pause for a moment of silent prayer. And now we'll continue on page 180 with the singing of O Say Shalom, another song for peace. Shakers ready.
O say shalom, bin romah, uya ase shalom, aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. O say shalom, bin romah, uya ase shalom, aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. O say shalom, bin romah, uya ase shalom, aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. O say shalom, bin romah, uya ase shalom, aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Well, Shabbat Shalom again, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Well, I had a choice. I could either talk about Passover this evening or this week's Torah portion, which is Metzora, which is filled with diseases. It's all about diseases. So I decided that maybe talking about Passover would be a little less disgusting. So anyway, I've been thinking a lot about Passover this year, and just in light of what's been happening over the past almost 7 months, and it really, somebody said to me, well, Phyllis and I and Ben actually led a Seder at Carlton Willard Village. Was it yesterday? Yes, seems like a year ago. And somebody made the comment that, because I was talking about how Passover this year feels a lot different than usual, and somebody said, oh, but it's all, you always do the same thing. And I just thought about it, and I replied and I said, like, just like in every single year when you read the Torah, every single Torah portion feels different from year to year. You find different things about it that stand out to you. So it's exactly the same thing with the Passover and the Passover Haggadah. Like every single year, we bring our relevant experiences and everything it has to teach us, and how it relates to what's going on in our minds, our hearts, everything. And this year, I feel like the entire Haggadah has been transformed in my mind, and every single symbol, like every single section of the Haggadah, I feel it just feels different. Like I find different things in it. I just respond to it completely differently. And even yesterday when we were talking about this, people around the table at our Haggadah, at our Seder yesterday, there was one woman there who's more like kind of not anti-Israel, but more like focused on what's happening in Gaza, and so I was just feeling the tension from her when I just went through parts of the Haggadah, and then when we sang the closing song, next year may we all be free in Jerusalem and in Israel, and in the song it talks about different cities in Jerusalem, in Israel. I just felt like that feels like so different this year for somebody like her sitting across the table. For me it didn't, but I can just feel like for others around the table everything feels really different. But every single symbol, as I said, could be interpreted differently, feels completely different, and I kind of wanted this to be a little bit of a discussion about how you're thinking and feeling about Passover this year, and if there's something different that you're going to be doing at the Seder that you might have done any prior years. But I've gotten lots and lots of material from lots and lots of different places about how to bring this year's experience and how we're feeling and just responding. But the big one for me, as I talked about yesterday, is the symbolism of an empty chair, and the importance of having an empty chair at your Seders this year. And we're going to have one at our Temple Seder this year. And to me, an empty chair in any year symbolizes our loved ones who are no longer with us. That could go for any year. But this year, to me, it also symbolizes the hostages who won't be with their families, and we don't even know who's alive. So the emptiness of seeing that chair in honor of all of the hostages, all of those who died on October 7th, who will not be with their families ever again on Passover. The soldiers and the civilians who have died since then, defending Israel, and those innocent civilians who have died in Gaza, who may have one day been our friends, or we may have one day invited them to a Passover Seder. I would also add to looking at the symbol of the emptiness of a chair, maybe some former friends who I may have invited to a Seder, but because of the divide that's been created between us and some of our non-Jewish friends and some of our Jewish friends who have had very critical attitudes, or whose opinions just like trigger things within us with our sensitivities, we might not wanted to invite to our Seder this year, and have lost those friendships. And like the empty chair kind of symbolizes the lost friendships in our community. And also we think of those who are on the verge of starvation because of the war, and just they have nothing to eat, and those people can sit at an empty table. There's like nothing for them to eat. We think about them. And then finally, we think about the emptiness within ourselves. Like we look at the empty chair and we think about the parts of ourselves that are missing this year, that kind of like died within us after October 7th, and this continuing trauma that's been going on day after day for 7 months. We aren't the same people that we used to be, and it's a time to acknowledge that we're not the same people. And we have to look at the emptiness and just acknowledge maybe what's changed within us and what's no longer there. But at the same time, I think about we have to. The whole point of the Seder is to go from slavery to redemption, from sadness to hope. And so I think at the bottom line is we look at that empty chair and we think about the assumptions which have died within us, the parts of ourselves which have died within us. We also look at it as an opportunity, like the empty chair is a chair. It's still a chair. We can still sit in it in the future. We can still choose to sit in that chair. We can still hopefully one day be what we aren't right now. We can invite new people to sit in that chair, gain new friends and new allies. I know that it's just been crazy since October 7th. The friends that I thought were friends who I've lost, and then the people who I didn't think were particularly friendly, but now are. Like lots of people have stood up for us and come to the fore, and new people, I know I've gained new friends that we're going to invite to the Seder this year, and those who we can count as people to join us who we wouldn't have even thought of as wanting to join us before. So all of that, I think, is the symbol of the empty chair. And so on the one hand, it's the fragility of life and the fact that the state of Israel and really all Jews around the world are in a state of existential threat right now, as we just saw with the attack by Iran. But it's also a possibility, and that our values are still there. The chair itself is still there to hold us, to guide us, to enable us to sit and be present in the future. So all of that, I think, is really what this year's empty chair symbolizes. So I thought, hopefully we'll all have an empty chair there and think about all of those various symbolisms. And also is symbolic of the fact that it's an empty chair at our Seder, which is our own unique story as Jews, which we cherish and which we have had for some thousands of years, and which hopefully we will continue to have in the future in our own unique way year after year. So I didn't know, I could go on and on and on, but I won't. And I'll put a lot of these ideas maybe in an email out to everybody of different ways of celebrating Passover this year. Another just big one that I'll mention is matzah, the breaking of the middle matzah, and how this year we break the middle matzah to form the afikomen. We're really symbolically separated from others, separated from ourselves, separated from the world in a sense. The world has kind of separated itself from us, so that's another symbol. The matzah, the flat bread, we can think of the flatness of again, hunger in the world and have people not having enough to eat. So as I said, I'll stop there, but if anybody has any thoughts about this or anything that you're planning on doing at your Seder that might be different or unusual to symbolize this new reality in our lives that you'd like to share, or not. I thought that many people wouldn't be thinking about this, so that's why I did a lot of research on this. And I know that a Seder is something that people can just enjoy and be happy and be with each other and enjoy each other's company and talk about family traditions. We were just talking about family traditions before the service started, and everybody's got them. Which is all wonderful, and I also think it's good to just some part of our consciousness as we go through the Seder, just think about this extra symbolism and what it means to us and how we deal with it and can come together and cope with it as the days go on. So I will stop there. Shabbat Shalom. And now we're going to continue with the Aleinu on page 586. Please rise in body or spirit.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated.
And please join me at the top of page 588. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת אין עוד. Page 591. Please join me in our version of Bayom Hahu, starting with the Ne'emar. And shake along with us. The Ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, Lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom Hahu, Yihye Adonai, Echad u'shemo echad. נאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. אחד ושמו אחד. אחד ושמו
We now continue with an introduction to the Kaddish on page 599. We think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We recall those whose yahrzeits occur this week: Barbara Lenore Bernstein, William Brown, Gary Damelin, Janice Fiano, Bina Carlosser, Peter Lyons, Selma Pastor, Samuel Torman. And at this time, if there are names of others you'd like us to keep in our hearts and our minds, we prepare to recite the Kaddish. You may say their names aloud or in your hearts as I look across the room.
Eileen Fresh,
Rhonda DeVoren,
We think of all those who have died defending the land of Israel. We think of all those who have died on October 7th and all of the civilians, innocent civilians who have been killed. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. Turn to page 598 and rise to recite the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shmei Rabbah, Yamad Yivra, Kirutei, Yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon V'yamechon V'chayei L'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala V'yizman Kariv V'yimru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Leolam Olmei Amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei Dukudisha B'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran b'yama v'imru amen. Yehi Shloma Rabba min Shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ose Shalom b'mrama, Uyase Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony and high bring peace to us, to our country, to Israel, to the Middle East, to all Israel and the world, as we say together, Amen. Please be seated. Now I'd like to call on Mindy Stanley, our perpetual announcement giver, for the announcements.
Yom Huledet Sameach.
Oh, thank you.
The
I have
base-
one more day.
I know. Shabbat Shalom. So there's quite a few things coming up here at the temple. And of course, want to remind everyone to have their matzah ready for the first night of Passover, which is next Monday, April 22nd. April 23rd will be our Seder here, our second Seder. And be enjoyed. We've already received all of our RSVPs. Thank you very much, and looking forward to that event. On May 3rd, the night of May 3rd, Friday, May 3rd, we're going to have our Yom HaShoah service, a very special service to remember the Holocaust. That'll be followed by the following week, May 10th, which will be our Bernard Nelson service. We'll be honoring this year's recipient, who happens to be here tonight, but I'm not going to give it away unless, I don't know if I'm allowed to give it away. So
It's
I'm
been
not
in the
gonna say.
bulletin the past week.
Oh, never, okay. Congrats, Val. I know in the past we were very secretive about it, so I just want to make sure. And then that'll be followed by the service the following week, May 17th, Yom HaAtzmaut, remembering the birth of Israel. Will be, I believe, 76 years old this year, and we'll be having some members of Hadassah joining us. Shabbat Shalom.
Well, thank you, Mindy. And why don't we have you guys come on up to lead us in the Kiddush, all four of you, if that's possible. Thank you to the Clemens and the Lions for this, the Oneg Shabbat this evening. We're going to continue with the Kiddush on page 122. Please rise in body or spirit. I'm just going to read the bottom of the 122.
In Hebrew.
No, it's just the English.
Just English, okay. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their lives. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho v'ahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu bacharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahava uvratzon, inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh a Shabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. Chug it. Shti. Okay. As long as you're up there, you might as well grab the challah. I'll hold it.
Should we uncover it?
We don't have to.
Okay.
Ready? Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Thank you. You can just take it with you.
Yep.
Please be seated.
Oh, that sounds good. And please join us for our closing song, which we have just decided in honor of Passover and befitting the rabbi's talk tonight. We will sing that most wonderful of Passover songs, Dayenu.
Shake along.
Ilu Otsiyanu, mi Mitzrayim, Otsiyanu, mi Mitzrayim, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Natan lanu, et Shabbat, natan lanu, et Shabbat, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Natan lanu, et Torah, natan lanu, et Torah, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Pesach Sameach. Happy Passover. It's over. Shabbat Shalom.
You may talk among yourselves. Make sure you come to our own egg.